Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I wanted to share my updated bullet journal system. I moved out of my Hobonichi Weeks into a pocket Malden and a pocket pen and gear notebook from Walmart, and I kind of wanted to share my system with you. It is the same exact system. I will link the videos, my Hobonichi playlist, and down below because I have used a Hobonichi Weeks for my bullet journal, and I've always used like two notebooks. I use my Hobonichi Weeks and I call it, you can call it a catch-all notebook or a dailies. I have a habit of calling it dailies, but it's two books, but one system, and I've been doing that for years now. So in the beginning of this year, I started off with two bullet journals, or two Hobonichi Weeks, which is my bullet journal system. And I stopped using this in April, and I'm not sure what happened, but I just lost interest, and that's not normal for me to move around in planners. I generally do that with journals. I like to journal hop just because I date everything. To me, it's what I use, whatever journal I feel led to using at the time. But my planners and my self-care has basically been the same these past years. I don't move out of that. This is the first year that I moved out both of my Hobonichi Weeks for my planner, and I moved out of my Hobonichi Weeks again to my Commit 30, and I even moved out of that into a simplistic system. So I'm going to, after that, I had one Hobonichi Weeks left over because I had originally bought three to use three this year, 4 months per book. That didn't happen. And so what I wanted to do is simplify my system. I just wanted something very simple. And I think because I have a couple of grandchildren born within the last couple of months, I traveled to Chicago and traveling, and I don't know, 2 part-time jobs and just life, family. I wanted something simple for this season in life. And I may change this later on. If you've been following me for a while, I moved from two different planners. I've used Astrology for many years, but this is working for now. So I wanted to share my system. It is the same exact system. It's the bullet journal with / Franklin Covey with a dash of GTD. I always say that because I like to pick and choose what I like from each system, merge them into one, and make it work for me. So let's start with the Malden. This is the pocket Filofax Malden. It usually comes with 20mm rings. Let me bring you down just a little bit. But I took out the rings because it only had 20mm and I need 25 minimum. And I've also used 30 in here. These are Moterm rings. And the 30 was a little too much. I can use it, and I have it in another Moterm pocket for Faith. But when I like my side tabs, and when I have 30, it pushes out the tabs, more than so they can get damaged. And so 25 is the perfect size for me. So I also, years ago, and I think I have a video on that, I also cut the zipper out because I don't use it, and that zipper was making indents in my inserts, and so I didn't like that. So this is very functional, very simplistic, and you're not going to see stickers in here. I'm a very much pen to paper, but I highlight a lot. I have a color coding system. I live by color. This first vellum is from Joann's. I thought it was so pretty. I love those butterflies, and some vinyl that I bought on Amazon. These are just some cards that in the beginning, and then again, if I'll leave a link to my original Hobonichi Weeks, bullet journal system down. So if you're not familiar with my sections, again, they're all the same. So here is my to buy section. Here is my brain dump. So any ideas, anything that pops in my head that I want to document and I don't know and I want to move it later, it will go there. Here's Post-its, and here's just some acetate. I put some extra Post-its here. I'm missing some. It looks more even. And this is just some Post-its. Sometimes when I see a movie recommendation, either on social media or someone has mentioned something, I'll write it down. It doesn't mean I'm going to watch it because I have some question marks in some of those. It's just something for me to check on later. And this is just my color coding system, my stamps, what I use them for, and then my time zones. I can tell you, I have that in every planner that I have because I use that a lot. And this is just some scrapbook paper that I got from my Hobby Lobby. And this strap, I generally just keep it like that so it's not in the way. This is this year, just kind of little reminders for myself, affirmations for health. This is just information on someone who shared some nutrition information on IG. These are note pages that I generally write down notes if I want to keep like a list in the back, and I'll just write it here and then move it later. And that's the same. This is a book that I'm reading. I just want to keep track of the characters because it's a series and I like to keep track of all the characters in the book. These are just extra paper, and this is just copy paper that I cut into pocket size. This is Filofax plain paper. So these are my sections, and again, this is very functional. These dividers are all from Filofax. These are just the plain yellow ones, but I do like to use just these little, I don't know, they're not posted. I bought them on Amazon, but I like to put the titles and then I can switch them out without writing because they just have numbers 1 through 6. And so my first one is future log and monthly tasks. So this is my future log, and I also have bottom tabs. I like side tabs and bottom tabs because when I'm looking at my planner and I sit down, this is kind of the direction that I'm looking at. Top tabs just don't work for me. This is my future log, and it's from July through June of 2025. Then starts my monthly task. So I have some goals here to buy, and this changes. Some of this will change every month. These are tasks that I compartmentalize by topic. So these are tasks, general task, home, YouTube, planners, relationships, finances, church, faith, and personal development. And this is just kind of, usually in the past, I've written, drew lines, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. Here are some things that I wanted to do in July. I have birthdays coming up, and I have sheets for the rest of the year. These are my weeklies. Now these are Filofax inserts, and I'll just give you a quick flip to my current day. Sorry, my hand's in the way. So this is today, or yeah, this week. I tried using the weeks, kind of mimic, the Filofax inserts that mimic the Hobonichi weeks, where you have the week on one side and the blank page on this side, but it was just too crammed for my pocket. If it was personal, it would have worked, but so this pretty much worked for me. And I have tons of inserts because I have a lot of pocket ring planners that I've purchased in the past. So here I drew a line. And so something about me is all the information that I have or want to contain has to have a place. So when I extracted everything out of my Hobonichi weeks, everything had to fit in a way where it makes sense for my brain. And it also, the information has to flow in my planner in a way that makes sense to me. Because sometimes if I would be like, stop, and I'm like, okay, where is something? That means it wasn't in a place where it normally is. And so I had to move things around and shift things around, re-tag and reorganize many times. And this is what is working for me. And so here are the lines. And here I keep, I have a small part-time job in the mornings, and I keep that there. My weight, trash, so anything that I order will go here in this little column. Timesheets, I have timesheets for 2 jobs, and then that's basically what I keep that there. When you see these envelopes basically in the front, this envelope here, these are stamps. The green envelope means I ordered something, basically I purchased something. Brown is that order is being delivered. This is paydays. This is my other, payday for my other job. These are phone calls I need to make, and that's generally my children, and this is YouTube. And you know, like in, I think it's the GTD system where you have waiting on, you know, like a section for waiting on. So anything that you order, you're waiting on, or for whatever. That is kind of how this works. So I eliminated that. Here is this week. I always have like my YouTube up on top. And then these are the videos that I wanted to make, and it's not happening yet. Hopefully I get it done by Sunday. If not, I'll move it over to next week. And my phone calls are here. And then here in this main section, I just have, you know, bills, birthdays, important information, my daughter's days off, and then here are appointments for myself, my youngest daughter, and my husband. And that's, you know, basically how, and if something's coming out or being delivered that I'm not sure, I will put a post-it, and then when it arrives, and then I'll stamp it, because sometimes sometimes the packages are late for some reason. And so yeah, that's what this looks like. I will give you a quick flip through the end. I tried to record this video a couple days ago, and I kid you not, it was an hour long. I'm like, what in the world was I talking? I had that much to say. But I think I was giving a very detailed my weeks, and it was just much too long. So hopefully I'm not talking too fast in this video. I'm trying to keep it not too short, not too long. And so yeah, I'm loving this. It's just working for me. Some years it doesn't work, it doesn't click with me, but now in this season I want simplicity, something that's light. So if I travel, I can easily take this with me. If I'm upstairs or downstairs or anywhere that I'm at, this works for me, and it contains the information that I want to keep. Because aside from being a bullet journal, you know, Franklin Covey and all that, it's also a memory keeping system. So part of me struggled with moving out of my weeks because it is a memory keeping system for me. And basically it's not really for myself, but because I never really look back at my planners, I generally don't. But when I pass, these books will go to my children. And one thing that I thought about is like, one thing I don't like is storing all these inserts. And then I was thinking, well, how am I going to store them? Do I categorize them like all my weeks together, you know, in all my sections? But what I thought about, I have plenty of pocket planners that I'm not using. And what I'm going to do is take this out and put it in a ring planner that I'm not using and just store it on my shelf. That's what's working for today. So this is my weekly task. So you know how the Hobonichi Weeks has the week on this side? That will be this information. And then the blank page to the right, I think I said that right? On the left was the weekly, and then on the right is I used to write down my tasks. So that's what I have here, is I have my tasks for the week. And then I have this little acetate that says today, and it's a little longer so I can flip to it. And I have a little, these are also to buy. I either put it in the front, but lately I've been wanting to really redo or replace things in my house that really needs to be replaced. And so I just been, you know, putting this here. These are little exercises in Spanish that I've been wanting to work on. This is more like a reminder. And then Bible, faith stuff to remind myself. These are exercises, ideas if I want to work on my Spanish. And here is this insert here. I created myself years ago. I use it in my faith, and so I had some extras, and I'm using it for projects. So in the bottom here, I list, and I just started using this on the 23rd, and today's the 27th, and put another dash. So how this works for me is I write down the projects that I want to complete, and I have a month to do it in. Even though I'm cramming it in a week, this is like, it doesn't take all that long to finish all these different projects. But what happens to me is when I see dashes, that's going to motivate me to really push it these 3 days to get this accomplished. That's how I function. I've always been, you know, kind of like last minute, let's cram all this. So for July, these are the other projects that I have. And I want to paint, you know, some walls, clean out the hallway closet, clean out the bedroom closet, and I have to declutter the basement. So that's probably, I need to write that down. So that is for the month. And then I have enough sheets for, you know, the rest of the year. This section here is my YouTube. Let me put this pen down. My YouTube and my expenses. That's how I had it in my weeks. And so here is just, I'm going to replace this actually with these Post-its that I got years ago at Target, and I think I bought that in Chicago, and I never really used it, so I may use that instead of this. But this little calendar is just for my Instagram, and I need to write down IG. I just did this today earlier before work, and what that does is just tells me when I post, because I really want to get more consistent in my posting at Instagram, and I forget when did I last post. This is an insert from Peanuts Planner Co. I believe I purchased this years ago. And this is the other side. So this is the full year. And I had to keep track of the hours of my part-time job, and I also wanted to keep track of my YouTube. And so this is, I just divided the column. I don't know if you could tell, this is one column here, you know, for 1 month. I just divided it each in half, and then one is for my hours for my part-time job, and then here is my YouTube. And if I made a video, I just put a little dot, so just to visually keep track. I don't do anything with information, but I just like to keep track of that. I don't want years to go by and regret, you know, why didn't I keep, I don't know, just something I do. Here are my YouTube videos that I actually made, like the titles. And then here's my IG. Here is information, my expenses for my pets. And then here I keep track of my timesheets and the amount of money I made and stuff for tax information for my first part-time job. And here's my YouTube information. Here is my index and gratitude. And just like in my weeks, and this is my index, and I color code everything. I know it looks messy, but I know what everything means. And then here I put extra outside of my family, if there's anything like highlights that I want to keep track of, you know, happens in the world, in the nation, or I don't know, in my state, then I'll put that there. Here's my currently, what am I planning, you know, feeling, loving, watching, purchase, those type of things. My gratitude, my husband's gratitude, and I have enough for the rest of the year. So that equals 1 month, you know, all those sheets. And I have enough for the rest of the year. And I write pretty tiny. I adjust my writing according to the page. So if I have a bigger page, for some reason, I just naturally do it. Here's my health information. So basically what I did is I simplified my health. And this I've always kept in my Hobonichi weeks. What you won't see here is the weeklies, because the only time that I really write a lot of information is when my autoimmune flares up and I'm down for three to 4 months. I document daily, like my symptoms, and they're pretty severe. And so what I thought was keep my general stuff here for my husband, myself, and my daughter, my youngest daughter, and my pets, and everything's color coded. And here in the bottom where it doesn't have numbers, I'll generally summarize, like if I'm taking any meds. So when I'm flipping through my pages, or my doctor, if I meet with my doctor, all I can do is, you know, I can summarize, like I rolled my ankle this day. I'm taking 2 medications, you know, how many milligrams is each, you know, things like that. And I have enough for the rest of the year. And then I figured that at the end of the year, or if I do get sick and I do need information, I'll put some blank paper here, and then it'll almost look like dailies, and then I'll just write down my symptoms per day. Here's sticker fun. This is something that I wanted to leave in here. Again, these are Filofax blank. These are old, and I just redate them. This is when I feel that I want to work with stickers, or I just want to be creative, or have some, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like doing something like this. This does not take the place of my planning. My planning is already done, but this is just sticker fun. So let's say, I don't know, this week I want to play with some stickers. It's on a Friday night. I'll just redo and then just, you know, keep track of the high points of each day. And then just, I don't know, to me, that's a little creative for me. I'm not all that much creative, but that's about as creative as I get. If you've seen my Commit 30s, and it's small and petite, and this is something that I did a year ago today. So if you see, I haven't done any more here, so it's there and available if I choose to do it. This is my list section, and again, this is my index, everything that I have in here, and basically it mimics what I have in my personal rings. Something about me is I like to replicate systems in different sizes. So when I get bored, I may want to work in personal rings. I may want to work in this. I do that with my faith planners, my war binders. I have, you know, the same system in different sizes. And so when I get bored, I just change things out, or, you know, use the different sizes. So that is my list section. And this is just, I don't know, here's my index right there. And then the back, I just have, you know, a zip if I want to keep something in there, my ruler, my Filofax ruler, and then I have a jelly sheet. So what I use that for, if I want some information that I want to keep, you know, somewhere, I just put a little post-it on it, and then I can easily place it where I need to place it. So that is that. And the way my information flows is it goes from my future log into my monthly tasks, to my weekly tasks, I'm sorry. It goes from my monthly to my weekly, and then from here, I pull into my dailies, which I'm going to show you now. So the only thing that you don't see in here is brain dump information. You don't see dailies, just messy planning is what I call it. And that's what this comes in. And so what this is just a pen strap here. And this is an old Moterm cover, an A6, and it has a back pocket. I think the Moterms now come with a top pocket. This doesn't have one, and I prefer it without it. Sometimes I like the top pocket, and sometimes I don't. Make sure you're centered there. So what this is, and I've been doing this for years, if you've been following me for a while, and keep the strap out of there. And so this is the pen and gear. I just decorated. Here is just a waiting on a replacement and a to buy. I know I have that in both. But sometimes, I don't know, it's whatever I'm using, that's what I write it. And then when I go to the store, I just make sure I consolidate the two. And this is just, you know, faith, just some notes. Again, some notes. Here's some journaling in between there. I keep private. And things to write in my pocket notebook. This is a list. Some notes, journaling. Again, some messy planning here. These are my generally, when I do my tasks, my dailies, I use this color mile liner right here, and I title that, you know, highlight it, and so I know when I'm flipping through the pages, that is the color that I'm looking for, and that's how I know it's the start of a new day. If I journal, let's say, hold on here, let me find my current. So this is a good example. So right here, let's say I wanted to memory keep, I would rewrite the date, but then highlight it in gray. So therefore I know that that is memory keeping, you know, via journaling that goes along with this day. I don't do that every day. And I, when I feel led to, this is a brain dump. This is, was listening to a faith YouTube video. And these are dailies. Some journaling, and these are dailies. Now what I do is this mimics the dailies I used to have in my weeks. So I do my dailies in color, or my tasks in color, my color code, because everything, you know, purple means work, gray means my job or me, pink is my daughter, this teal color is my other daughter, green is anything money related or my husband. Orange is faith, and this weather always goes on top. And so what I do is I just skip a line, and then I start doing rapid logging, memory keeping via rapid logging, like the bullet journal, and just start, you know, documenting my day. Here, I'm trying to practice my Spanish, and so someone on YouTube recommended at the end of the day, do a short paragraph and summarize your day in Spanish. And so that was my I don't know if it's grammatically correct. I never learned Spanish in school. I just learned it from speaking at home with my grandparents. And so here starts a new day. So I'm looking for those colors. Did the same thing there. Here is memory keeping. I just had some returns there. And then here is, you know, so it keeps on and on and on. And so this is the book that I'm reading. I wrote some notes. Here I'm taking some notes on some totes, and I wanted to do a comparison between the Daisy Rose City Tote and Florentine. And then here's the current day. So I get to check off YouTube because I don't know if I had it on there. And so that's how I use this. This is very, you know, this is not neat. So if I had a phone call, I just my next spot is I start writing notes. This just looks a little neater because I moved from a mini composition notebook that I started, and then I rewrote everything because I wanted to use this. So this is an inexpensive notebook that I bought at Walmart, and that's been going around in the planner community. I think this is number, I forget. I know these are my previous ones that I've used. It's just messy planning, and that's how my brain works. So what I did is I kind of separated my journaling. Now, if I do memory keeping, I do that here because it's related to my day. So the good thing about that is when in the past, I really wanted to compartmentalize my information because that's the way my brain worked. And so therefore I had a notebook for this, a notebook for this, a notebook for that. And I am at a season in life where I want everything just one notebook. You know, when I go out, this is what I carry with me. This stays home and stays on my desk. I don't need to carry that with me. This is a good picture of my day. So when I see, you know, this is the start of the day, and I see all these notes, let's say I had faith and I had, you know, journaling, I had a phone call, I can see that, you know, this is my whole day, and this is what I did throughout the day. So that is really, I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And so that now that makes sense to me, where before it didn't. And so my journaling, like my feelings, or I would have to say more my feelings, just kind of like or kind of like a brain dump, you know, I just want to write. That's what this is for. And hold on here. And this is just, hold on. I don't want to show anything. And this is just pen to paper. I love these little notebooks. This I bought in the Dollar Tree years ago. I buy them sewn. So if lately in the Dollar Tree, the little notebooks have not been sewn, they're glued. They're good for me. I like if I have to make a grocery list because I can easily tear the pages. But if I want this to last me a long time, it has to be sewn. And it came in a pack of 3 like this, and then it had a different color. I forget what color it was. But the other ones that I like to use, these are only 50 sheets, which is 100 pages, but they also have these at Walmart, which it comes with 3, and these are the pastel colors. They also have the black, red, you know, the primary colors, and blue. Hold on, I'm trying to see here. These are 80 pages and 160 sheets. So that is in here. And I just ordered, I found these at Amazon, and I'll link them below. But I just bought a pack of 30, and they'll be here tomorrow. And I have my Amazon store. I'll just link it below. But I think they're like 80 cents each. But that is it. That is my system. And that is working for me. Oh, I did want to share my 2 pens. In center there, my 2 pens that I like to use is my Pentel Energel 0.5. I like using that in my composition notebook and my pen and gear. I just like the way it writes. And then in my here, I just use my Uni Jetstream, you know, the 0.5 I've used a 0.7 in the past in my Hobonichi weeks, but for this, I like a 0.5 because I need to write small and it just looks neater when, you know, I use this pen. So I'm really enjoying this system. So this is also light. So if I need to take it with me camping, which lately we're going to be doing a lot of camping, this is very easy for me to carry and take with me. So that is it. If you have any questions, again, let me know, but that's all I have, and talk to you guys soon.